What if I told you that the greatest success of your life has nothing to do with the money in your bank account, the title on your business card, or the applause from the crowd? What if the real victory is happening right now, in the quiet moments when you choose discipline over distraction, growth over comfort, and courage over fear? Most people in America are taught to chase the dream, the house, the promotion, the recognition, the breakthrough. We're told that once we make it, then we'll finally feel proud, fulfilled, and happy. But here's the truth nobody talks about. If you don't learn to love who you're becoming on the way up, no achievement at the top will ever feel like enough. Because success is not a moment, it's a transformation. It's built in the early mornings when you don't feel like getting up. It's shaped in the setbacks that test your confidence. It's forged in the decisions you make when quitting feels easier than continuing. And tonight, we're not just talking about winning in life. We're talking about becoming the kind of person who wins, from the inside out. If you've ever felt like you're working hard but haven't arrived yet, if you've ever questioned whether your effort is worth it, if you've ever wondered when your breakthrough will come, stay with me, because by the end of this message, you may realize something powerful. You are not behind, you are not failing, and you are not waiting for success. You are becoming it. And that realization can change everything. Success is a process, not a destination, because it is built through daily growth rather than a single moment of arrival. Many people imagine success as a final event, a promotion, a financial breakthrough, a business launch, or public recognition. But those are merely milestones along a much longer journey of personal development. If success were only a destination, it would mean that fulfillment lasts for only a brief moment before fading, forcing you to chase the next achievement to feel valuable again. True success, however, lives in the transformation that occurs while you are working toward something meaningful. It is found in the habits you develop, the discipline you strengthen, and the resilience you cultivate when faced with difficulty. Each day you choose to improve, even slightly, you are engaging in success. The late nights of preparation, the early mornings of practice, the repeated efforts after failure, these are not obstacles delaying success, they are success in motion. When you shift your mindset from "I will be successful when I arrive" to "I am successful because I am progressing," you free yourself from constant dissatisfaction. Growth becomes your reward. Learning becomes your advantage. Persistence becomes your identity. A destination can be reached and completed, but growth has no limit. As long as you are expanding your knowledge, sharpening your skills, and strengthening your character, you are succeeding continuously. This perspective transforms setbacks into stepping stones rather than stopping points. It teaches you that temporary failure does not cancel success, it refines it. When success is understood as a process, comparison loses its power because your focus turns inward toward your own evolution. You measure progress by who you are becoming, not by what others have achieved. This way of thinking creates lasting fulfillment because it anchors your sense of accomplishment in effort and improvement rather than external validation. The person who understands that success is a journey learns to value patience, consistency, and self-mastery. Instead of anxiously waiting for a breakthrough moment, they find meaning in steady advancement. In doing so, they discover that success is not something that happens to them one day in the future, but something they experience daily through intentional growth and purposeful action. Joy fuels persistence, because when you genuinely enjoy the journey toward your goals, you develop the emotional strength to continue even when progress feels slow or obstacles appear overwhelming. Many people rely solely on motivation, but motivation rises and falls depending on circumstances, mood, and external results. Joy, however, is deeper and more sustainable. It is the quiet satisfaction you feel when you know you are growing, learning, and moving forward with purpose. When joy is present in your efforts, discipline stops feeling like punishment and begins to feel like commitment. Hard work no longer seems like sacrifice alone, it becomes an investment in your own expansion. This inner satisfaction creates resilience, because you are no longer working only for an outcome that may take months or years to achieve. Instead, you are rewarded daily through the experience of progress. When setbacks happen, and they inevitably will, joy reminds you why you started. It keeps your vision alive when temporary failures try to weaken your belief. A person who finds joy in improvement sees challenges as part of the adventure rather than proof of inadequacy. They understand that growth often feels uncomfortable, yet they appreciate the transformation taking place within them. This appreciation turns frustration into fuel. Without joy, persistence feels heavy and forced. With joy, persistence becomes natural and almost automatic. You continue not because you must, but because you want to see how far you can grow. Joy strengthens patience because you are not desperate for immediate results. You value the learning process itself. It also protects you from burnout, since you are emotionally connected to your purpose rather than driven only by pressure or comparison. When you celebrate small wins, acknowledge effort, and take pride in development, you build a mindset that thrives on consistency. Over time, this consistency compounds into remarkable results. The people who achieve lasting success are often those who learn to enjoy becoming better each day. They found meaning in practice, refinement, and steady advancement. Because joy accompanied their efforts, they were able to persist longer than those who worked only for rewards. In this way, joy becomes more than a pleasant emotion. It becomes the energy source that sustains determination, strengthens belief, and carries you forward when circumstances test your resolve. Definiteness of purpose is the foundation upon which meaningful achievement is built, because clarity creates direction, and direction generates energy. When a person knows exactly what they are working toward, their actions gain focus and intention. Without a clear purpose, effort becomes scattered, motivation weakens, and progress feels uncertain. A definite purpose acts like a compass, guiding decisions, shaping priorities, and filtering distractions. It transforms ordinary activity into purposeful movement. Instead of reacting to circumstances, you begin responding according to a clear vision of who you want to become and what you intend to accomplish. This clarity produces excitement because each step, no matter how small, is connected to something larger than the moment. When you wake up with a defined objective, your mind naturally searches for opportunities aligned with it. Your attention sharpens, your discipline strengthens, and your persistence increases because you understand why your effort matters. Doubt loses some of its influence when your purpose is stronger than your fear. A definite purpose also simplifies choices. Many people feel overwhelmed not because they lack ability, but because they lack direction. When your aim is clear, you can confidently say no to distractions that do not serve your vision. This protects your time, energy, and emotional focus. Clarity fuels belief, because the more specific your vision, the more real it becomes in your imagination. When you repeatedly visualize your desired outcome and connect it to daily action, you begin aligning your HAB. It's with your goals, your behavior becomes intentional rather than accidental. Over time, this alignment builds momentum. Purpose transforms challenges into meaningful tests rather than random hardships. When obstacles appear, you interpret them as part of the journey instead of signals to retreat. A person with definiteness of purpose is less likely to drift or surrender because their mind is anchored to a clear destination. This mental clarity also influences confidence. Knowing what you want reduces hesitation and strengthens decision-making. Each completed action reinforces your belief in yourself, which further energizes your pursuit. Purpose, therefore, is not merely a statement of desire. It is a powerful organizing force that shapes thought, emotion, and action into a unified direction of growth. Growth through adversity is the principle that challenges are not interruptions to success, but essential instruments in shaping character, strength, and wisdom. Every meaningful goal requires transformation, and transformation rarely occurs in comfort. When difficulties arise, they expose weaknesses, test commitment, and demand higher levels of discipline and creativity. Instead of viewing hardship as punishment or proof of inadequacy, it can be understood as training. Just as physical muscles develop by resisting weight, mental and emotional strength develop by resisting pressure. Adversity forces you to think differently, act strategically, and stretch beyond familiar limits. It reveals hidden capabilities that comfort would never uncover. Many people desire progress, yet they resist the very conditions that produce it. Struggle refines patience, sharpens focus, and deepens resilience. When plans fail, you learn adaptability. When criticism appears, you learn emotional control. When progress slows, you learn endurance. These lessons cannot be taught effectively through theory alone. They are earned through experience. Adversity also strengthens belief because each obstacle overcome becomes evidence of your capacity. Every setback survived becomes proof that you are more capable than you previously imagined. Over time, this builds quiet confidence grounded in experience rather than assumption. Challenges also clarify priorities. In moments of pressure, distractions lose importance and what truly matters becomes clear. This clarity strengthens determination and commitment to meaningful goals. Those who grow through adversity develop a mindset that sees opportunity within difficulty. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they begin asking, "What is this teaching me?" That shift in perspective transforms frustration into insight. Hardships become feedback mechanisms guiding improvement rather than barriers blocking progress. Growth through adversity also cultivates humility, reminding you that mastery is a continuous process. Each trial adds depth to your character and strengthens your ability to handle greater responsibility. Over time, adversity becomes less intimidating because you recognize its role in your development. You understand that pressure is not there to break you, but to build you. The person who embraces adversity as a shaping force advances steadily, not because life is easy, but because they interpret difficulty as part of the path toward becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable. Self-mastery over circumstances means developing control over your thoughts, emotions, and actions regardless of what is happening around you. External events are often unpredictable, influenced by factors beyond your control, but your internal response remains within your authority. Many people attempt to manage success by trying to control conditions, waiting for the perfect timing, the right support, or ideal opportunities. However, circumstances shift constantly, and those who depend on favorable conditions for progress often feel powerless when challenges arise. Self-mastery shifts the focus inward. It begins with awareness, recognizing your habitual reactions, emotional triggers, and limiting beliefs. When you become conscious of how you respond to setbacks, criticism, or pressure, you gain the ability to choose a more constructive reaction. Instead of reacting impulsively, you respond intentionally. This discipline strengthens emotional stability because you are no longer controlled by temporary feelings. Fear may appear, but it does not dictate your decision. Frustration may arise, but it does not define your behavior. Self-mastery also requires mental control. Your dominant thoughts shape your perception of events. If you interpret difficulty as defeat, you weaken your resolve. If you interpret it as training, you strengthen your resilience. Controlling your mental narrative allows you to maintain confidence even when results are delayed. Consistent self-discipline builds trust within yourself. Each time you honor your commitments, complete necessary tasks, and act according to your values rather than convenience, you reinforce inner authority. This internal strength makes you less dependent on praise or validation from others. You become guided by principles rather than opinions. Self-mastery does not eliminate challenges, it equips you to face them with composure and clarity. It strengthens patience in uncertain seasons and courage in demanding moments. Over time, this inner stability becomes a competitive advantage. While others fluctuate with circumstances, you remain steady and focused. Your decisions become aligned with long-term vision instead of short-term emotion. This alignment creates consistency, and consistency produces progress. The individual who practices self-mastery develops confidence rooted in discipline rather than external success. Circumstances may shift, opportunities may change, and outcomes may vary. But the ability to govern your inner world ensures that your growth remains steady regardless of external conditions. Faith in your evolution is the deep conviction that you are capable of becoming more than you currently are, even before there is visible evidence to support it. It is the belief that growth is unfolding within you, even when progress feels slow or unnoticed. Many people abandon their goals because they judge themselves solely by present results, forgetting that transformation is often invisible in its early stages. Just as a seed develops roots beneath the surface before it breaks through the soil, personal development begins internally before it appears externally. Faith allows you to continue nurturing your efforts during seasons when results are not immediate. It strengthens patience because you trust that consistent action is shaping you in ways you may not yet see. This belief becomes especially important during setbacks. When mistakes happen or plans fail, faith in your evolution reminds you that you are still learning, still adapting, and still advancing. Instead of labeling yourself as incapable, you interpret challenges as part of your refinement. Faith also influences your identity. When you believe you are becoming disciplined, confident, or skilled, you begin acting in alignment with that identity even before full mastery is achieved. Your behavior gradually rises to match your belief. Doubt weakens effort, but faith energizes it. When you trust in your potential, You approach tasks with greater determination and creativity. You are willing to invest time and effort because you believe the investment will produce growth. This perspective reduces comparison because your focus shifts to your own path of improvement rather than measuring yourself against others' timelines. Faith in your evolution also nurtures resilience. You understand that development is not linear. It includes periods of acceleration and periods of slow progress. Instead of becoming discouraged by temporary plateaus, you remain committed because you believe that refinement is occurring beneath the surface. Over time, this unwavering belief strengthens confidence as each small improvement confirms that your faith was justified. You begin to recognize that the person you are becoming is shaped daily by your persistence, learning, and courage. This faith does not ignore reality. It interprets reality through the lens of growth, seeing every experience as part of a larger process of becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable than before. Success is not a trophy you hold one day. It is the transformation you live every single day. It is found in the discipline you practice when no one is watching, in the courage you show when doubt appears, and in the joy you feel as you stretch beyond yesterday's limits. The journey shapes you more powerfully than the destination ever could. Every challenge refines you, every clear purpose directs you, every act of self-mastery strengthens you, and every moment of faith in your own evolution builds the person you are becoming. When you understand that success is growth in motion, you stop chasing approval and start embracing progress. You no longer wait for a future moment to feel fulfilled because fulfillment lives in the effort, the learning, and the persistence you demonstrate today. The real victory is not in arriving at a final point. It is in realizing that you are stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were before you began. I wish you courage in your challenges, clarity in your purpose, and joy in your becoming. May you trust your growth, stay consistent in your effort, and believe deeply in the future you are building. Good luck on your journey toward the person you are meant to become, and thank you for your time, your attention, and your commitment to becoming your best self.